Hello, animation fans! Zootopia is an absolute animation masterpiece. The creators thought of everything: climate zones, infrastructure for hamsters and giraffes, even toilet flush systems designed for animals of completely different sizes. But in this perfectly crafted world, there's one giant, absolutely monumental hole in the logic. Where the heck are the birds? Across 2 movies, not a single sparrow, pigeon, or eagle. And if birds appear in Zootopia 3, that would mean they were always there. They existed when the city was founded, when predators and prey made peace with each other. So why has nobody ever seen them? Did they go extinct? Were they exiled? But recently, as fans prepare for the 3rd movie, a surprisingly believable theory started spreading online, one that not only explains the absence of birds, but could also create the perfect foundation for the next story. Get ready, because this dives into full-scale animal geopolitics. My name is Oksana. I'm an artist with a background in psychology, and I analyze movies not only from a psychological perspective, but also through the lens of art and storytelling. Now let's go back in time. Thousands of years ago, mammals, both predators and prey, evolved, stopped eating one another, and decided to build Zootopia. But what were birds doing during all of this? That's where the first key idea of this theory appears. Birds never saw themselves as part of that alliance. For birds, evolution followed a completely different path. While mammals struggled on the ground, dividing land and fighting over territory, birds ruled the skies. They had absolute freedom. So when mammals invited them to join and build a shared civilization, birds most likely refused with pride. Why would a falcon or eagle obey the laws of ground dwellers when they could simply fly away? But then the city kept growing. Skyscrapers appeared. Massive glass buildings became hazards that birds could crash into at full speed. Huge transportation systems started cutting through their flight routes. Zootopia became increasingly dangerous for aerial life. And that's when conflict began. A historical event that, in this theory, became known as the Great Aerial Segregation. The birds simply packed up and left. Entire flocks migrated away and built their own isolated civilization high in the mountains, or among giant ancient trees, a place called aviarium. Now this is where things enter full conspiracy territory. Imagine that the government of Zootopia and the Council of Birds signed a non-interference pact. Birds would not claim the land and mammals would not interfere with the skies. To avoid future conflict, the subject of birds was gradually erased from mammal culture. Schools and history books, a kind of social taboo. Mammals now live inside their own comfortable bubble. To them, birds are like deep-sea creatures in our world. We know they exist somewhere out there, but in everyday life, we rarely think about them. Meanwhile, birds intentionally ignore Zootopia, seeing mammals as limited ground pounders, while mammals return the favor. And now we've finally reached the potential plot of Zootopia 3. Why would this fragile piece suddenly break now? Simple. Zootopia has started building upward. The city expands higher into the sky. New technologies emerge, perhaps high-speed flying transit systems or drone networks, and suddenly they begin violating the airspace borders of bird civilization. Or maybe an environmental crisis. Drying forests or climate instability caused by Sahara Square's artificial systems forces birds to seek help. Now imagine the opening scene. Right in the middle of the city, a wounded elite messenger pigeon crashes onto the hood of Judy and Nick's police car, carrying an encrypted message. And suddenly our heroes realize something terrifying. An entire hidden world has existed above their heads this whole time, and they were never supposed to know about it. Judy and Nick become the first ground-dwelling diplomats to travel into the clouds and investigate a conspiracy that threatens both the earth below and the skies above. The birds didn't come out of nowhere. They were simply keeping their distance from the wild mammals who spent centuries arguing over who was allowed to eat whom. So what do you think of this theory? Do you believe Disney could explain the absence of birds in a way this epic? Or do you think they'll go with something completely different? Share your thoughts in the comments, hit the like button if you enjoyed this theory, and subscribe so you don't miss more animation mysteries and movie theories. Want to create a beautiful memory for yourself and your child, one that will last a lifetime? I invite you to join my art classes. This is not just drawing by templates, but a chance to explore art on a deeper level, with insights from art criticism made accessible even for children. Together, we'll discover why ugly paintings can be worth millions and learn how to express our own emotions through art while creating in a warm atmosphere with inspiring music. Take a step toward beauty. Send me the word art on Instagram, and I'll tell you all the details.